On healthy living,
fitness training,
and creating an amazing life. And today we want to cover this very important topic. The question of, how long should I eat before a workout? What should I eat, and what's going to give me the most energy? So our pops just came in and told us, hey, don't eat a huge burrito right before you go in and work out because I had no energy. And that's absolutely true. And the reason why you would experience lack of energy after eating a huge burrito and then going to work out immediately is because it's full of what? Complex carbohydrates, right?
Yeah, complex carbohydrates being those longer chain carbohydrates. So those are your pastas, your grains, the type of carbohydrates that take a little bit longer to break down. So in this sense, what I recommend to my clients to do is that if you're going to have a complex carbohydrate meal, have it 2 to 3 hours before exercising, because then your body will be able to utilize that as fuel rather than your digestive system having to bring all the blood down into your digestive tract to try and break that down right before working out. Absolutely.
So all kinds of complex carbohydrates, we're talking, beans, legumes, grains, your wheat, your corn, all these things that they are wonderful energy. When you're talking exercise, you're talking fitness, you're talking training, they are amazing energy. That's one of their biggest purposes is carbohydrates turn into glycogen, and our glycogen is used as our energy source. It's like our rocket fuel. But two problems happen when you have too many complex carbohydrates. One is, if you don't use it, you turn to fat, right? Yeah. So if you're eating too many, then it turns to fat. The second thing is it takes longer to break down. So if you're not utilizing it at the right time, as in this case with our pops who ate the big burrito right before working out, now he's done with his workout and now he's starting to get the energy from his burrito, right? So you want to wait at least 30 minutes minimum, but as Derek said, up to 2 hours is pretty good. So what do you need if you want immediate energy for your workouts?
This leads us into the second one here, and that would be simple sugars. So simple sugars being like your fruit. When we're talking about simple sugars, it's stuff that breaks down immediately to where you can utilize it for fuel. So that's something where you can actually take like 30 minutes before exercising. You could actually take while exercising. Eating oranges is very common.
Yep.
Eating bananas while exercising because they're full of simple sugars that your body breaks down immediately and uses it for fuel during your workout.
Right, so now this leads the conversation to a little bit more complexity because we live in a time of convenience in manufacturing and chemical laboratorianism, right? Where every type of food, just about every type of food you can find in the grocery store, they fill with processed simple sugars. And those are things like, your processed sugar, your high fructose corn syrup, these things that are actually very toxic to the body, but the body responds to them as a simple sugar. So yes, it's going to give you immediate perceived energy, but at the same time, too much sugar is also going to cause, huge detriments as the body, as we learn through the scientific data that we now see, that you want to avoid processed sugars. They're incredibly bad for the liver, and when you're eating these processed foods, you can have your complex carbohydrates, your bread, your grains, your cereals, where they pack it full of highly processed simple sugars, and you're getting your complex carbs and you're getting processed simple sugar. You end up getting way too much sugar, more than your body can actually process properly, which then eventually stores as fat or can cause other problems in the body. So here's the key. When we're talking simple sugars from our standpoint, from a nutritional standpoint, as Derek said, we want you to take natural simple sugars, the things, fruits. Have a fruit smoothie, mix it, have some orange juice, have some apple juice, have some natural, organic, simple sugars. It's gonna give you that energy. Again, you can take it right before your workout, during your workout, even after your workout if you want, anytime you want that good energy. And to recap, complex carbohydrates, eat them 30 minutes to a couple hours before your workout. You're going to see much more energy that way.
So very true. So one way that I do this to utilize energy, like for the simple sugars, is to actually have a fruit smoothie beforehand with some superfoods like bee pollen, and I'll also throw in moringa for the nutrients and the antioxidant properties within it. And it actually feels like it's jet fuel for my workout because my body's able to just convert that immediately into energy. And then, just as you said, utilization of complex carbohydrates. what we'll see, very, very common, even within the whole entire fitness realm, is that like the night before competition, really, really popular in football, is that before they compete the next day, they'll have like their pasta. So what we recommend would be, have your complex carbohydrates well before, so that your body can utilize that as energy later on. Take your simple sugars, that's where you can take it like immediately before or even during. Also with your complex carbohydrates, definitely transition over to organic, less processed, whole foods. Look at the labels, definitely look at the labels. If there's stuff in there that doesn't sound like food, put that back on the shelf, pick something up that is in whole food form.
Absolutely, that's where you're going to see the most benefits. So as always, we appreciate you tuning in today. Love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions below. If you got some good information from this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it, and hit that subscribe button if you're not already